They come out here in the eye. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Second down, Prescott. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Dez Bryant, the intended receiver, and it's third down. This offensive unit today, they're going to need Dez.
A full combo plate. Size, speed, toughness, not to mention incredible aggressiveness going and getting the football.
On third down, it's Prescott. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. Cole Beasley, the intended target, and it's fourth down. So on fourth down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. The rookie fifth-rounder Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City. Taking a couple yards shy of midfield. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. And now here comes Kansas City. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. Cedric Thornton, the one that got him down. So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first. Smith now to throw. He's got the hook up with Conley. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it?
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
Play clock winding down. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. And now it's 2nd and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They'll run it now out of the gun. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So it's 4th down to the Chiefs called on their kicker, Cairo Santos, for the field goal try. This is less than an extra point, just a 19-yard attempt. So it's an old-school extra point, but certainly a disappointment that they couldn't get 6.
Yeah, when you see 19-yard field goal in the box score, you kind of shake your head. But their head coach decided 3 was enough.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It was the safety blitz that ultimately did the job, and they're going to credit him with a sack. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
The Cowboys' all-time receptions leader, Jason Witten, the intended target. And it's 3rd down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
So a 2nd down incompletion now brings up 3rd down.
Let's go!
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. Dancing to his left. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. And that's caught by Beasley. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch. Looking for his tight end, Witten, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
On the ground, this is Ware. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Yeah, I think the blitz there really disrupted the draw.
Yeah, and it's usually when you catch them in a blitz, the draw works pretty well. If you're the offensive coordinator right now, that's visor throwing time, isn't it? Because that's supposed to work in a big way.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL. And a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses. And now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one. Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And quickly they get to the line.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Smith on first down. They complete it to Hill. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
Throwing is Smith. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Smith going to throw on 3rd and 1. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Oh, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. To the air again, Smith. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and goal.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So they get the field goal, but part of that was a 14-play drive to get the 3.
Normally when you hold the ball that long, run that many plays, you end up in the end zone. There's a breakdown on the defense. Something happens. In this case, that didn't. But really good ball control by the offense. They're hoping that they can wear them down if they keep having drives like that.
Bryant, the lone receiver, left. Final play of the half. Prescott, incomplete. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. On 1st and 10, Prescott. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Chris Jones. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. He's got time. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
From the 50, it's Smith. He's got the hook up with Conley. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. From the gun on third down, Smith finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches.
And this is a spot where you have your offense stay out there to get those few inches. It's too long for a field goal. It's not worth punting. So this is the right decision as far as I'm concerned. And they wind up picking up the first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it's the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
Caught here by Conley. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Here's Smith, and it's complete to Kelsey. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great.
And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Charkandrick West, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. And certainly some credit there for that touchdown goes to the offensive line.
They never get the credit they deserve in the stat sheet, but they are the reason that they got the points. Excellent job up front, clearing the way for the score.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
A very solid gain of 27. And they're going to speed things up here.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive there. He hits the reliable target. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Now the